Get started on our meeting for capital planning on Tuesday, January 22nd. To get started, we'd like to invite information technology up to discuss requests. Good evening. Hey.
How's everyone?
Good, how are you?
Good. Well.
Good, floor's yours.
Mike Deltano, Information Systems Manager. For this coming year, FY 2020, need 30 computer replacements, and that's about it. Next year, I thought we were going to have to talk about storage arrays this year, but Dell made me an offer to do all 4 of them for maintenance for 2 years last September, so I grabbed it, so we don't have to talk about that till next year.
Great, because I was waiting to see about that. I know we talked about it last year.
Yeah, I was thinking we were going to have to retire 2 of them, but they gave me 2 years on them. I'll take it. If they do it again, I'll do that again.
Great.
They're all running great, so I hate to mess with it unless they make me.
Understood. All right, so it's 30 computers, and then you have the storage arrays
Well,
are
I put those on for next year.
for next year, okay, 2021.
And that number goes up and down, so that's last year's number.
Yep.
I mean, next year I'll get a real number.
All right, so your total ask right now is 169,747.
That's,
No, that
No.
would
Oh,
be for all the
30
5 years. It's just a
33,700.
33,747.
that's even better.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Any questions for?
No.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
No, pretty straightforward.
It is pretty straightforward. So you could just explain like what kinds of computers?
Well, we always go with Dells these days. They get the best maintenance. It's easiest to call them. You get somebody on the phone right away. 28 of them are just your basic standard model with, hard drive, Intel processor. 2 of them will be workstation class, 1 for Chief Sullivan and 1 for Mike Blanchard. Because I put a second hard drive in for backups, because they tend to have a lot of files on those computers. We don't want to lose that C drive, so I get an internal backup going on those. That's why there's 2 different models there.
Okay.
And that's about all there is to it.
And as far as your capital plan for these 30, I know that we consistently swap out X amount every year.
Every 4 years.
Every 4 years.
I got about 120 around town, so it's, 27 to 32, depending on which year it is. So every year, we get a total cycle of 4 years.
Okay.
Where they're all warranted for 3 years, so I get the parts from Dell. And if they last 3 years, they typically last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
But to get parts for a 4-year-old computer isn't hard. Just go to the Best Buy and grab something.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If I don't have it in the closet.
So this is part of the standard rotation process?
Yes.
Excellent. I have no questions. Further questions?
Gentlemen?
No?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
All right.
All right, we're going to change up the agenda just a bit. We're going to ask the representative from Inspectional Services to come up and present. Good evening.
How you doing? Kevin Griner from the Inspectional Services Department.
How are you?
Here tonight to request to replace 2 vehicles in our vehicle fleet.
All right. And can you just go over the 2 vehicles you're requesting?
To replace a 2005 F-150. It has 93,000 miles on it and multiple mechanical issues lately with a 2019 F-150. And we have a 2008 Ford Ranger that we would also like to replace with a 2019 Ford Ranger. That has 98,000 miles on it, and according to our town mechanic, is extremely rusted on the bottom, and he's concerned about the undercarriage of it.
Gotcha. Now, will these be traded in or handed down?
I don't know what the town does with the vehicles when we're done with them.
Oxygen.
This-
The
this will get
2005 that
traded
we
in.
had was a hand-me-down from the
Okay.
DPW, so, but I don't really think they're worth much.
Fourth and long? Punt. And as far as inspectional services, the need for pickup trucks?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, we're on, construction sites all the time, muddy, the car's really not gonna handle, plus we're picking up illegal signs all the time and things like that we need a pickup bed for.
Yeah.
Okay. And as far as the 2 vehicles right now, I know you're trying to replace another Ford Ranger with a Ford Ranger.
Yes.
Is that sufficient? Do you need 2 F-150s, or the Ranger's working out fine?
I don't believe so. I think if we had one full size, the Rangers would be okay. I know the newer Rangers are bigger than the older ones,
Correct.
so.
Okay. Yeah, to save a few thousand.
Right.
Okay. No, from what I read in the description, it sounds like they're time to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have no further questions.
Gentlemen,
No, I'm all set.
pretty straightforward. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate
Thank you.
Good night.
You too. All right. Chief Sullivan? How are you tonight? How are you?
Good evening.
So this year, I am respectfully requesting funding for 3 new Dodge Chargers. They would be all-wheel drive, and they would be added to our patrol fleet, so they would be marked. It would also be trading in 3 of our older vehicles that are either just simply old, have high mileage, some have some repair and maintenance costs that are creating some problems for us as well. But this is part of an annual request from the police department to try to do our best to bring in 3 new cars every year, and at the same time eliminating 3 cars from the inventory. We're not trying to increase our inventory. It seems to be working very well for us right now. So if we were approved, we'd buy them from MHQ, which is on the state contract. The total cost just for the vehicles alone would be approximately $128,500. In addition to that, I would be requesting another $3,800 of funding that we would use to buy new computer mounts for each of the 3 new cars. And that cost would also cover any installation and labor costs associated as well. So the total request would be for $132,300.
All right. And Chief, you like the new Dodges? They seem to be working out for you?
Yes, we haven't made it through the winter season yet, but we're very happy with them so far. Very roomy. I'll be curious to see how they are handling for the officers when we do get snow. They are all-wheel drive, so we've been very happy with them so far, and thankfully, I mean, we shouldn't have a lot of repair and maintenance costs, but you just never know. And we did have some problems with the Fords, the utilities, but we're very happy with what we have so far.
Great.
Did Ford ever get that situation squared away with those utility vehicles, you know?
Don't know, Wendy. And we had some issues with some of ours. We installed carbon monoxide detectors.
Right.
And there were modifications made by the Ford dealership, by the DPW. It was getting to the point where I was fearful that, you know, you could see, we were seeing some videos periodically of police officers drifting off the roadway and into the woods because they were passing out.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. I just, you know, we've always had a good experience with Ford, but just, you know, until they fix the problem, we seem to be very happy with the Dodge so far anyway.
Great.
And I'm assuming you're going to be replacing out the old Crown Vics. Is that what
Yes, yes.
the high mileage?
I believe at least 1 or 2, and I believe there'll be 1 utility that we'll get rid of as well.
Explorer. Okay.
Explorer 2013.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's part of the standard order that we've gone over every year to swap them out because of the mileage and the repair costs, so I have no further questions.
Typically, how long would you expect the new ones to last before they need to be swapped out?
We try to get 5 years out of them.
Okay.
We put on roughly 20,000 miles per year, but sometimes we will, if we've had good luck, you know, with as far as repairs and maintenance, if we have good luck with the vehicle, we'll try to keep it. You know, we do have, you may recall in the annual town meeting, there was an article that was put on the warrant for a detail, call it a detail car. So when a private vendor requests a police officer with a cruiser, we now charge $15 per hour, which is then, I believe, Wendy, deposited into an account that we could use for repair and maintenance costs of that particular vehicle. So if we do have good luck with them, we'll keep it. But again, we don't want to expand our inventory. We'd likely just get rid of something else.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And based on what I'm seeing, you don't feel the need anymore for SUVs? The sedans are working fine?
Yeah, we might take a look at the Dodge Durangos. It's my understanding that they are now police pursuit rated, which You know, I apologize for not having all the information on what police pursuit rated, but I know it has something to do with the braking system and suspension, things like that. But I've heard good things about them, but I'd like to give them maybe another year to see how other agencies are
Yeah.
doing with it.
Any additional questions for the chief?
No, I'm good.
Thank you so much for your time.
Have a good day.
You too. And next will be Chief Partridge. Thank you very much.
Look out if needed. Oh, thank you.
All right, so fire department is looking for, it's actually gonna be 3 items, because item number 4, which was to purchase additional thermal imaging cameras for the department. We found a different model, it's only $2,600 each, so I'm going to put it on my non-capital to the town administrator for those items, so I'm removing it from the regular capital request. The other 3 items are a new monitor defibrillator. It's actually not for the 3rd ambulance, the one we purchased last year went on the 3rd ambulance. This one will go on engine 2.
Okay.
This will give us, the 3 ambulances have Life Pack 15s. One engine currently has a Life Pack 12, which is well over 10 years old. And the other engine does not have one, just has a semi-automatic defibrillator. We're looking to add one this year. And then, as you'll see on my 5-year plan, I'm looking to get another one next year that will replace the Life Pack 12 on the other engine.
Okay.
At that point, we'll have 5 that are all Life Pack 15s. And then
Renew.
the first 2 Life Pack 15s were purchased the year before. They're about 8 years old now.
Okay.
So we have to look at what the lifespan is on those. So I don't have that answer right now, but at some point we'll be adding back in to replace those. So that's the first item. Again, $35,000. That's with the trade-in to purchase a new defibrillator for that will go in an engine. The second item is a utility vehicle pickup truck, F-250 pickup truck. This one we will purchase a plow with it, so we will have plow capabilities at the station, all 3 stations if we need to go to the others. We will do that. Right now, we solely rely on the DPW to come and hit it when they can, and there are times when, you know, there's a good 12 inches of snow out in front. So having this vehicle will allow our personnel to stay up and keep the parking lots cleaner for us. And I'm gonna retire the 2008 Crown Victoria. That's currently with the fire inspector. There's a new vehicle that's gonna be on order very shortly, but we're waiting for the contract documents to come back. So the chief, the deputy, and the fire inspector will each have Ford Explorers. The fire inspector's car was gonna go for the fire academy car, which is still the Tahoe. If you recall, I originally wanted to retire that one, but we couldn't because we hired the deputy and I still needed a vehicle. So that's why we got into that situation. So the Tahoe's gonna come offline this year. We may keep it and allow the CERT team, the Community Emergency Response Team, to use that vehicle. We're not gonna sink a lot of money into it. If it starts failing, it fails. And then the Crown Victoria will be used for the fire academy car. I will have very shortly 4 new recruits. There's 1 we just hired, 3 additional ones coming on board that will go to the academy this coming year. So once we get this new utility vehicle in, the Crown Vic will come off the road and get retired. It's 11 years old right now.
Yeah.
And then the last item is to replace all the department's nozzles. 95% of them are outdated. I've replaced maybe 3 nozzles with newer technology nozzles. We did apply for a FEMA grant this year, Assistance to Firefighter Grant, for the full amount. It's about $52,000. That's to equip all 4 of our engines with nozzles. Each one has about 10 nozzles on the truck, ranging from small 1.5-inch nozzles up to larger unmanned streams that we can set in place and deploy water. If we get the grant, the town share would be 10%, is what it would cost us. If we don't get the grant, then I'm looking to replace the nozzles. I mean, it is something that we can do over a phased plan, a phased number of years, if need be. Ideally, I'd like to try to replace as many as I can at one time.
When will you know about the grant?
Well, usually we hear about April, May is when the grants are distributed, but with the federal government shutdown, it's gonna push all that out further, and it's not certain.
Okay.
And how long does it take to get the replacement nozzles? Is it something that's stock item, things like that? Do you have to order them?
A lot of them will be, they'll have them available probably within 30 to 45 days. I could have nozzles, but then we're gonna do complete training with everybody on the new nozzles before we put them in service, so.
Okay.
Can they be installed by your staff?
Yeah, they can be installed, but as part of the purchase, as I bring in the different vendors, the manufacturers, I ask them if they would include in their quote training on the nozzles for all my groups, and there's no cost to that so far. They come on their own, other than, me having the guys there for training.
Okay.
And I can tell you, some of the nozzles we still use are probably 30 years old, or there may be some older still.
They just have one big hole now.
Yeah, it's time. What we've done over years is, as we get a new engine, we just take the old stuff off, put it on, and I still have them checked. Once a year, we have all our hoses tested, all our ladders tested, and they go through the nozzles to make sure there's no defects or anything. They still pass. We keep using them.
Okay. So at this point in time, will you wait to hear back from the grant before ordering?
That would be my plan. I would love to get it in the budget and stuff.
That's fine.
In case I don't get the grant. But yeah, we would wait. Before I place any order, I would wait to hear one way or another on the grant.
Excellent. All right.
And we've also put in, for a new ladder truck, a Quint. Everything was approved through the town administrator, he's aware of it. So that was $900,000 for that, so our share would be just under $100,000 for our cost. So at that point, if we were awarded that, we'd have to come back and probably do another appropriation for that. I'm not asking for it at this point. It's a long shot, but Easton was successful in the past at getting an AFG grant for an engine, 2004, I believe. Engine 4 was purchased through a federal government grant, so we gave it a shot, because as you'll see, if you're looking at my 5-year plan I have on there, I moved it out. I actually was gonna try to look at doing it sooner, but I moved it out 2 years to refurbish ladder 1. It's a 99 right now, 20 years old. It's in decent shape. I was carrying 500,000, but surprisingly, I had the manufacturer of Pierce come in, the local dealer looked at it, and the quote he gave me ranged from $560 to about $635. I was like, might be worth us looking at buying a new one at that cost. So that's why I moved it out a couple of years, to give us more time to see how we do on the grant, and also get better pricing on refurbishing versus a new one.
Great.
So, and then I threw it in my capital plan. We need to do something at Station 1 to refurbish. I know, some of the department heads, we've been talking about building needs, and the town administrator is moving forward. But if something's not done in the next 3 to 5 years for a new facility for my side of the public safety building on Lothrop Street, it really needs some attention. We have not been putting, we're barely maintaining it. We replace carpet and tile, but the roof leaks, the windows are single pane, leak, cold, and it's just not meeting the, we have a female now on the department. There is not separate men and women's bathrooms and facilities in that, so I'm just throwing it out there that some attention needs to happen to that.
Okay.
Duly noted.
Any other comments or questions for the chief?
So in your memo, you listed these in a particular order. Is that your priority order?
I'd actually want to move the nozzles up, and that would be my priority. So it would be the defib, nozzles, utility vehicle, in that order.
Okay.
Three, two. Okay.
That's it.
All right.
Any other questions?
Thank you, chief.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great
Good
night.
night.
You too. All right. Next order of business is minutes from previous meeting.
Minutes are in the package.
Anyone have any comments?
No.
Motion to approve?
May I have a second?
Full second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing none? Minutes are approved. Wendy, any other business we need to cover this evening?
Just scheduling the next meeting. We still have to meet with DPW, including water, and the school department, and that's, usually have those the same night because of the overlap with the building needs. And so I think meeting next week is probably going to be too soon to contact them and try to schedule that. The school department usually needs a little bit more lead time too. And I think Dave Field is out for the rest of the week or so.
Okay.
We'll try to reschedule something schedule something next week for the following week.
Okay.
How does that look for you, Davis, with the finance committee?
So we're planning on meeting. Mark basically booked I believe it's the second Wednesday of every month, just kind of through at least to the end of this budget process. So other than that's pretty much going to be when our meetings are.
Okay.
So other than that, I'm available usually.
Okay. Does anybody have a preference for Tuesday or Wednesday or
I have a meeting every other Wednesday, but Tuesdays seem to work better for me.
Tuesday seems to work
Tuesdays?
out.
Yeah.
Okay. Tuesday works good for me too.
It works.
And that way you avoid the finance committee
Yeah.
potential conflict. Okay.
And as far as these items presented this evening, I'm assuming we're just informational at this point.
Yes.
We will prioritize and
Yes,
Yes.
do our usual prioritization.
Yes.
Okay.
already approved.
Yep. I think the only other requests are DPW school. I think there might be one more from Health and Community Services. And I also have to check with the assessor because I know they were looking for an inspectional vehicle, but I think it might be under the $25,000 threshold. So I know he was looking into getting some prices, and if it is under that, then we won't need to bring it to capital. But if it is, we will. And we were originally going to try to put it through on a like a Green Communities grant to get like an electric vehicle, but that's not going to pan out. So
Okay.
that's why we're bringing it forward now.
Okay.
So the preliminary school budget that was sent out in one of your emails, that's just preliminary at this point?
The school request?
Yeah, well, maybe this was, I might just get the date, make sure I'm on the same page here.
It's 5th, 9th.
Yeah, January 4th.
So that, well, that's their request.
Yeah, that's the request.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
As far as like the school project goes, from what I understand, they'd be looking to, I think, get a vote for that. Not in time, it's not gonna happen for town meeting.
Yeah,
It would
okay.
be probably town meeting in the fall.
Okay.
Any other discussion that needs to happen? Seeing none, may I have a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
All those in favor? Motion passes. Thank you
All
very
right.
much.